Okay, starting my final draft of the final open. Ooh, that's a legendary I don't have. um, Lockable and Deadly Way of 10 or more cards. Man, is that card a bomb? Like, Quad Shadow is really hard, and there's a Brigade Hall, which I know is a bomb. Bomb uncommon. Oh, it's worst case, it's a power. Unblockable and deadly, and we know we cast 7 drops. Regular, I'd have to be hard shadow. Brigade Hall, bomb uncommon, easily splashable. Like, Scribe aside, and being huge is great, but is this that much better given the significant quad pip and 7 cost of it compared to the Embezzler for 6 and unblockable? I'm gonna take the Brigade Hall. Gross. But I sorry if you're watching this for another taking forever agonizing. I'm gonna take the Brigade Hall. Probably a huge punt. I oh, Ice Blade's pretty good. Stomp's good, but maybe not what I want to take right now and go into Ricano. Bullseye. Only a deal 2, but fast. I think I take the Ice Blade now. Okay. Terror feels a mixed bag. Would have been nice to have the Fear if I do that, but the rest of the pack is super unexciting. No Justice. Take a Sprite or a Pathfinder. Yeah, I guess. I'm not sure which is better. I generally like the Pathfinder, didn't like the Sprite, but like even just as a tempo play, if it stuns something for a turn, that might be fine. Or I could just take the Inscribe. Yeah, I think that's what I do. Really don't like any of the rest of this. I mean, kill the thing is nice, but if you're in an aggressive deck and you can kill stuff and beat with it, that it can be pretty strong. Or people swear by it, but I don't think that's what I want. With Brigade Hall, you might reliably be able to be big. I don't think I'm losing enough here. I'll just take that and spec on it. Fordsmith versus Rain. Rain's pretty good, but Fordsmith is super. I think I'd rather have that. I don't know if I want to go into fire though and give up Artemis. Yeah, I think I'll just stick with the rain for now. Okay. Nothing very exciting here. I think Golem's ever great. Rescue could take, if I happen to go into something kind of fire based, but if I do that, would I just rather have a Molten Feet for the first pick? Probably. I could just take a Sprite. I'll just take a Sprite. Okay. Disarm solid. Pick up. Home doesn't help me splash these colors, but if I do go some kind of time, it would help me splash these colors. So I think that might be worth specking on versus these two. If I end up in some kind of Elysian deck. None of these are great. Even Wares isn't great. You take a prize fighter. I'm nowhere near Shadow anymore, I don't think. Or at least nowhere near that. I guess I take a prize fighter if I need units. Okay. So I take an ice over eavesdrop. I think I want to be in Shadow. I'll take a sword. Sure. Okay. I don't think I'm interested in that. Take a wind shape here and be try to be a flyers deck. Other than that, fly traps interesting. It's just a big beater most of the time, right? Not too much different than some of the big commons. Ooh. Vitality is a card. That worth getting my power base for? I could just take a Permafrost or a Paladin. I think I just take the Permafrost. That was a rough pass. On this Flyers deck, I want a Trainer. Than anything right now, I think. We'll take a Shaper. Okay. I think we found our lane. Serpent's pretty good. Oh man, that banner to fix for the rare we didn't take. Yeah, and these are, I might, So if I'm these, yeah, that's not going to help splash anything that I want. I'll just take a Rebuke and hope not to need to play it. That's pretty interesting. I run those colors, but okay. Bodyguard is rarely going to attack, but I mean that would have been nice if I picked up that Valkyrie station thing. Probably better than Gale Prowler though, just because it's a really great wall. I mean, these things could maybe I think I want the rune here. I'm kicking my board. Do this if I have to. Oh boy, I am not sold on my Justice cards, yeah, other than like as a splash. So Cerso is pretty good. Whale Cerso is pretty good too. I like doing that, and I'm not playing that. If I something like that, like I could take more flying dudes, finest hour bell, just take a Stormcaller here. At least stealth guy, fine. Bannerman seems fine too. I think I just take a Bannerman, especially Cerso's double time pips. That guy's pretty good, but let's go with the fixing. Lifesteal is pretty interesting. I think I would rather just have the patrol. I mean, it's a great blocker, kind of filling the same role as that bodyguard would have, except it can actually attack. And yeah, maybe I value the touch cycle too low, but I'm generally I'm not a fan of them. Torment's interesting. Like it probably never turning a unit into a worse statted unit generally, but it's kind of pseudo silence it. But let's take a patrol. Still have all this justice coming around and not really much time. Do I take the? I think I take the blade and splash it rather than taking the Yeti. Okay, perfect. I don't think I'm getting Cerso there off a double splash. I think I'll just take the recruit and hope not to play it. The unit often deadly for teleport. I have summons that kind of. It's interesting. Yeah, I'll take the first teleport. Good one. Where they have that. Guess that combos with Stormcaller a little bit, where maybe that's worth it. And if that was a permanent deadly, it'd be so much better. So I think I'll just go with the more flexible teleport. What's the big thing? Okay. Not playing. Love to. Pterosaur v. Bad Stun. Couple weapons I might want to play that it stops. Also take the wings for the splash. Guys aren't really like big. Like Cerasor might be trouble, but it's still a permafrost, right? Even if it's more expensive. Cerasor on that guy's. I'll just take the assistant removal. Storm Blast is pretty good. Things killer. I could make a big thing, make it a killer. Fine. Or good. See anything else I want? Okay, that's a pretty good pickup. The disarm would be nice, but I kind of need units, and I have a flyer for the wind shaper, not my splash, so it'd be easier to play. go with that instead. It's the wild versus Screecher. I don't know if I want to splash. I want that in my splash. Let's take the flyer. Others, or a blast, or an inscribe. How many inscribes do we have? I don't want to. Let's take the Storm Blast. Take the Tome for the fixing. Play the Dive Bomber on the splash. Okay. That felt like not a 6 or 7 draft, which may be a problem. But I will take a look at this and see what I come up with. Okay. I think this is where I want to end up. I end up basically primal and double splash, except my time. I don't have as much time fixing. I mean, not that much different, but and my time cards are double splash. Iffy on the Dormant Sentinel, but I think I might just want the big giant thing for the late game. I can push through or block the ground against other big time decks, because this is bigger than Beta and stuff. This does feel a bit underwhelming. My inscribes, I wasn't sure about playing the second Ice Orb, but I think I just want it for the extra primal source. I ended up taking out Teleport for it, figuring that a lot of the time they might be doing a similar effect. Only a handful of inscribes, but 4 of them are primal, so I have those 4, 9 plus 2 duels in Brigade Hall. So I have 12 sources there. I have the seats and Bannerman for time, so 9 should be plenty. I think I might not hit the second time some of the time, but I should hit the first in time for these 2 and maybe play those a little bit later. And I didn't want to go too low on primal where I'm not guaranteed to draw it. Still not guaranteed, but plenty of time sources. 7 there. Bannerman plus 4. Scribe. Let's see. For cards I'm not playing. Justice. Like Rebuke might be okay, but I don't think that's what we're splashing for. The units aren't particularly anything exciting. I think I'm just playing the good Justice cards. The other factions. Curve is a bit slow, so I could take the Recruit, but I don't know, it drops off really quick. Like unless they're attacking with like some early one or two drop that I can trade with, I'm not too happy with it usually. So it feels a little bit risky to play it. Oh, I'm glad I looked through this because I want that ruin. Feels a little bit risky to play that. Or to not play that, but I think this deck, I'm going to have to play hope my matchups line up a little bit and take some risk to get that to do well in the last run, rather than try to play it a little bit too safe maybe and lower my power level. Jump kick's an interesting thing I could play, especially with the two wind shapers, because it might give it, even more of a buff. But I don't think I really want that as a trick. But I mean, basically playing most of what I drafted. It didn't have a wasn't really making a bunch of cuts. It was more trying to find stuff that fits, sticking in like mediocre inscribes. So that's a lot. Let's hope it gets there.